because was the most dangerous place on Medellin. The violence started here on the 1985. They killed people here until 1995, so 10 years. On the 95, the Colombian army started doing military operations here. Between 95 and 2002, the Colombian army did 24 military operations on this place for trying to destroy guerrillas groups. On the 70s, here we have nothing. Was green places, was like jungles. On the 70s, 12 families came here. That families start to building houses, but they don't got permits by the government. And here in Colombia, the government say building houses on clean zones or green zones, it's illegal. And we don't got permits by the government. For that, we were illegal people here. For a long time, that people fight with the government. Many times the government say to the police, come in here, and the police try to go out that people. But we fight and we stay here. For that, this neighborhood we call independence, because everything we have around here was thanks for ourselves. That 12 families, they call more and more families. And between 1970s and 1980s, that people around here, they built 5,000 houses. With that 5,000 houses, they create two neighborhoods. The first neighborhood built on Comuna 13 history, we call Salty Town. We call Salty Town because of that place, we found salt of mines for that salty neighborhood. The second neighborhood built on Comuna 13 history, it's my neighborhood. We call Independence. When we built these two neighborhoods around to Medellin, we had 12 communities or 12 districts. Then the mayor of Medellin saw this new community here, and for that called us community number 13, for that the name. Right now, around to Medellin, we have 16 communities, and the 17 is coming soon. But for the moment, we have 16. This is the most popular because it was the most dangerous place on Medellin. The violence started here on the 1985. On the 85, it started to come in here guerrillas groups. FARC, ELN, and paramilitaries. They came here, they saw the government don't support us. We have an electricity, we have an water, the police and soldiers don't come here. And for that groups, that was good. They started to take in the higher parts. On the higher parts, they had snipers, M16s, Kaliks, AK-47s. On the corner when we start the tour, on that main street when you arrive, the guerrillas, they start to take in transports, like taxis or buses. With that transport, they building walls. For the police coming here on cars, the only option were walking. And when they saw the police walking around to here, they start to shoot him and kill them. They killed people here until 1995, so 10 years. On the 95, the Colombian army started doing military operations here. Between 95 and 2002, the Colombian army did 24 military operations on this place for trying to destroy guerrillas groups. On 2002, the government did the biggest operations. That operations were named Marshall Operation, or on Spanish Mariscal, and Orion Operation. Thanks by these operations, the guerrillas disappears here, but obviously we lose innocent people on that operation. Marshall Operation, made on May 21st, 2002. That operation lasts 12 hours to continue shooting. On that operation, the Colombian army came here with 1,000 special soldiers and a military tank. Can you imagine military tank here? Was crazy. The government were on the down part, the guerrillas on the higher part, and the community, we were between to the war. On that operation, in just 12 hours, we lose 10 innocent people. That innocent people, they were 7 adults and 3 children. for that innocent people, 1 week after the community, we start to walking on the streets with white clothes, white flags, for we say to the government, peace. And the government understood for a few months. But then, on October 16, the government started new one operation. That operation was called Orion. Orion operation lasts 3 days and 2 nights to continue shooting. On that operation, the government came here with 2,000 special soldiers, 2 military tanks, and on that operation, the Colombian army said to the American army, support them. And on that operation, we have 2 Black Ops helicopters. That was like Warzone. The guerrillas, they were on the higher parts. When they saw Black Ops helicopters flying around to here, they started coming down and started taking civilian houses like shields. Then on the houses, they started shooting for the windows by that homes. The government on the down part started watching guerrillas everywhere and started shooting everywhere, everyone. In that operation, in just 3 days, the community, we say we lose around 5,000 innocent people. But exactly, we don't know how many people we lose, because the government say another different history by that operation, and many bodies disappears. The government history was on that operation, they killed 2,000 guerrillas, and they say they captured 370 guerrillas. And they don't say they killed innocent people. The real history was the guerrillas, thousands guerrillas, they escaped. And the government, after the operation, started to go on the civilians' houses, and they saw here, they found 1, 2 guerrillas' bodies. But for that way, they found they killed 4, 5, 6 innocent people. You know, if the government kills innocent people, they must to pay like pensions for that families. Each one pension on that time, the cost was $15,000. On Colombian pesos, it's like 80 million Colombian pesos. In that time, was a lot of money. And you know, the governments don't like to lose money. For that, the government started taking that civilians' bodies, change your clothes, put guerrillas uniforms, and start to call them guerrillas. Here in Colombia, we call fake positive or false positive. The rest of the bodies disappears. And still right now, 20 years after to that operation, the community, we are looking for that people. The good part was the guerrillas disappears here, and the community, we start to living on peace. But that peace was for a short time. It was until 2005. On 2005, it started to come in here gangsters groups. This place is special because close here we have main route. That main route is the connection Medellin with the Caribbean parts. And for the Caribbean parts, we have another routes. It's the connections with the next countries, for example, Panama. And for that routes, the gangsters, they sell drugs and making money. For that, the gangsters start to coming here on Comuna 13. When the gangsters came here, they start to fight for Comuna 13 territories. And they start invisible borders. The invisible borders was, if you live in that neighborhood, you cannot cross here on my neighborhood, because we have different gangsters groups. If you live over there and you cross here, for these gangsters, you are enemies. Because they think if you cross for this way, for you collecting information by that group. For that, on 2005, it started the bad reputation for this community. Because every day on Colombia News was 20, 30 people killed here. Because the gangsters kill everyone. Girls, boys, young guys, adults, old people, everyone. Girl here was crazy, guys. When I was a kid, I cannot stay here more like 20 minutes. Every 20 minutes, all the time, the gangsters by another neighborhood, they come in here and they start to shooting. When we saw the gangsters, we must to run. If we don't run it, that guys killed us. And it doesn't matter if we were childs, they killed everyone. Around to here, I grew with maybe 400 guys. And just 30 guys, we survived that violence. The rest of the guys, they were killed, or the gangsters say to that families, move to another places, live. If they don't move, that gangsters kill that family. It was crazy. But thanks God, we changed this community. This transformation project started around 2009. On 2009, the mayor of Medellin was named Alonso Salazar. On the meeting to the hood, started to building escalators project. The escalators was for improve the transport by this community. Because before to the escalators, we walk 380 stairs. And special here, we have many old people between 60, 70 years old. And for that people on that time was insane. Every day is up, down, many stairs. The government started the project on 2009 and was finished on 2012. On 2012, thanks for the escalators project, Medellin City started to be touristic. Because on 2012, Medellin City won the name, the more innovation city around to the world. Because for the moment, this is the only neighborhood on South America we had free and public escalators. For that, Medellin started to be touristic. But was Medellin, not this community. This project, Graffiti Tour, is thanks for the community. The young guys and the social leaders, we start this project 1 year after to the escalators, on 2013. On 2013, we started painting graffitis, dancer shows, MC shows. This project is thanks by hip hop culture. The hip hop started here on 2007. In 2007, we got computers. That old computers, they have Windows XP, Internet Explorer. We started looking about to everything on website, and we're looking about to music, and we found American rappers. We found Tupac, 50 Cent, Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube, Eminem, Biggie, Dr. Dre. We're looking about to that, guys, and we found hip hop. We're looking about to hip hop culture, and we found that hip hop has 4 elements. The main one, it's graffitis. Second one, b-boys or break dancers. Third one, MCs. And the last one is the big boxing or the DJs, the music. We take that elements and we start to put in around to here. But when we started this project, the government don't like. A couple years ago, graffitis and hip hop culture was vandalism, was illegal. And many times we fight with the government. Many times the government say to the police come in here, and we saw the police came here with painties and they start to painting the graffitis. But we say, don't worry, you painting this mural, we can repaint, we can do another 20. And we continue to painting graffitis. Then the government say us, we cannot do tours over there. And we say to the government, doesn't matter, we continue, we don't need you. And we continue to doing the tours around to here. Thanks God, on 2015, the singers from Medellin, they support us. Famous singers like J Balvin, Maluma, Karol G, and the Roblox Sarquanis. They came here and they make musical clips around to this place. Or they take photos for bigger companies. And with that, they make marketing for us. Thanks for that marketing, we start to be popular. But these places start to be worldwide on August by 2017. On August by 2017, Bill Clinton, the expression from USA, he comes here. He works for this way with just 2 Colombian policemen. He sits with the community like this, talking these histories. He loved the transformation history by this place and start to recommend this experience on Medellin. Before to Clinton was 4,000, 5,000 people came here. After to him was 100,000 people, 120,000 people came here every month. It's totally crazy. Right now, every month is 180,000 people.